there is only one place to start this weekend. Forest and Bournemouth. No, I'm just kidding. The Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park. Everton, 7-1 underdogs at home, taking on Liverpool, -275. The draw here is 4-1. I am for anyone new here, I'm a diehard Everton tragic. So I'm going to actually cede the floor to you, BJ, first. You were on Liverpool this past week, but has your tune changed a little bit around the Reds?
I mean, a little bit. This match is just weird. Like, I actually am showing a little bit of value on Liverpool, but that doesn't take into the fact that Thiago is still out and that Liverpool is just going to continue to ride with the midfield of James Milner and Jordan Henderson, which just isn't really working right now. And I mean, listen, Liverpool's probably going to dominate possession in this match. They're probably going to press Everton effectively. Darwin Nunez, I think, will be back from suspension after this match, after the previous match. But Everton, I really just, I mean, they are kind of just turning back into what they were under Rafa Benitez. Like, they're just playing so ultra conservative. You know, when Lampard came in, we thought, okay, they're going to get out of the 4-4-2. They're going to start to play, a 3-4-3 or something more imaginative. And it's when they've played these bigger sides, it's just sit in defensively. They did the same thing against Brentford when they went up 1-0. I mean, against Leeds, they were a little bit more aggressive in the second half after it got back to 1-1, but once they got a lead, they just kind of sat back and let Leeds do what they wanted to. So, these Merseyside derbies, they have gone Liverpool's way the last few times.
Decade. It's almost been a
decade of it.
I think Everton have
Everton got a win in there.
Yeah, they have one win in the pandemic empty stadium.
I'm trying, and Michael, I'm trying to make a case for Everton. Like, I'm trying to get there and say, I want to play Everton, or I want to try to play, I'm even close to playing both teams to score, because I do think that Liverpool has been a little bit vulnerable playing that high line. They've given up a little bit too much. They did it today against Newcastle. They've done it to teams, in the past. So I don't know what to make of this match. Projection wise, I'm at Liverpool -330. I have a total of 3.6. So maybe potentially I was playing over, but then I'd taken, Everton hasn't been good defensively. They are over 1.5 XG allowed in every match except for the Nottingham Forest match. So I'm leaning towards that over, but I want to wait and see if that comes down a little bit to maybe get it over 3 at even money or something like that. If I can't get that, this one's just going to be a pass for me, and we'll watch Liverpool go behind and then come back and win 2-1 and break your heart, Michael.
I think the case for Everton is what you touched on in the midfield, which is how we've been playing against Liverpool to start the season. Amadou Onana looks a real player.
Yeah, he looks good.
Alex Iwobi has been really good in the middle of the park for Everton. And it does look like they're about to get Idrissa Gana Guy back in to Goodison Park. And a midfield three of Onana and Gana and Iwobi would give Liverpool trouble, I think, in the middle of the field. And the center back pairing of James Tarkowski and Connor Cody is good enough that they should be able to at least, they're the type of players that are really good in these kind of situations where it's going to be a big blue bus parked behind, with 10 guys back. And who would you rather have anchoring that big blue bus than Connor Cody and James Tarkowski in a game where you're going to cede like 80% possession? And then I think Anthony Gordon and Damari Gray can give some issues to Trent Alexander-Arnold going back, and that Liverpool defense has looked leaky. So I do think the number is good enough to have a dabble on Everton. So that's where I'm going to be going. I do think the team is getting better. They're starting to get the bodies in that they need to basically push the bodies that they don't need out of the lineup. And hey, they'll get to play with an actual striker for the first time in this match after they didn't get Neil Maupay registered in time because of a bank holiday for some weird reason. Anthony, what are your thoughts here? Merseyside derby.
My first thought is England has way too many bank holidays. I feel like that happens every other week. But my second thought is that I would like to bet Jurgen Klopp complaining about time wasting over first half, because you already know coming into this game, Everton's going to be time wasting from the first minute. And they're going to be parking the bus, like you mentioned. The one thing that scares me about backing Everton at home +1.5, which is what I would bet if I had to bet it, is that Darwin Nunez is back and he's going to probably start up top. And look, as good as Bobby Firmino has been, I mean, I called him washed 2 weeks ago and he's got 3 goals and 3 assists since I said he's washed. Despite that, I mean, this team looked just miles better, and it's a small sample, but the 90 minutes that he played against Fulham and then the first 60 against Palace, they didn't score, but the attack looked way better. And I'm partially wondering if having a true striker will open up more space for Salah to get going, because he's had a little bit of a slow start to the season in terms of finishing as well, but also just chance creation. I think, I don't think Liverpool's going to have a ton of problems getting through Everton's midfield. And I do think once they get down toward the byline, I think having someone like a Nunez who can kind of bully in the middle and get on the end of chances, not that he's Haaland, but Haaland-esque, Haaland-light in a way. I think that really does make a big difference for Liverpool. And that scares me off of betting against them here. But if I had to bet, it would be Everton plus 1.5. I mean, we talked about Liverpool defensive regression on this show the whole second half of last season, right? And I bet Everton team total over a half at minus 110 in this fixture last year. And now it's minus 155. So I think that kind of gets to the point where, we know Everton's probably about the same team they were in late April, maybe a little better, but the market has clearly shown they have downgraded Liverpool's defense after what happened in the last 2 months. I mean, they've conceded first in 8 of their last 9 matches in the Premier League.